Damn it, no, Shella is right. There's more to Oliver than just his sword. I'm sorry, that conversation, my mind went into a million different directions and none of it was appropriate. But yes, the third episode of Reign of the Seven Spellblades, if I can get back to my mindset of actually analyzing this episode, was decent. There was a couple points where I felt like this is starting to jump around a bit too much and not really kind of sit in the scene, but other than that, it covered a lot of stuff here. I think my biggest curiosity is really the beginning segment that further, I guess, piques my curiosity as to how this school itself, this academy, is structured, because it seems as if what I'm gathering from this whole scene in the labyrinth is that some of these higher classmen are being kept in the lower areas of the labyrinth. Now, it could just simply be that Oliver and Cyrus, these two, technically, like, walk the floors in the lower area in case any students get down there. But there was a couple things here that made me very curious. One is the fact that it seems like they acknowledge that these two are very disgusting. I mean, Ophelia does crazy stuff to the students, and she births things from seeds in her stomach. She literally births monsters. She doesn't summon, she births them. On the other end, Rivermore apparently is using the spines of fallen students to summon things as well. These two are doing some really inappropriate and disgusting things with either the fallen or people that have been charmed by them. And it seems as if, at least according to the student council president, okay, go back? Like, there's no, like, you people are doing crimes, I'm going to take you out. No, it's literally, get back to your hole. So, I don't know, it just seems like they're kind of okay with this. Unless it's just Rivermore and Salvadori have that knowledge of the two and what they're doing to the students that come down. But again, Alvin specifically says, I've already talked to you guys before about your methods of recruiting students, indicating that he is very aware of what they're doing to the students. So I don't know what the moral boundaries of this academy is anymore. It seems like they're perfectly fine with the terrible things they're doing down this labyrinth. So I don't know, hopefully in the future we get a little more clarity there, but that was kind of my whole, I guess it helps to my concerns that I had in the last episode. My biggest concerns in the last episode was that these people are doing this terrible stuff down here, and even though it's against the rules, they're getting away with it. But no, this episode's sort of establishing that they're okay with this. Now, if Salvadori and Rivermore is actually taking alive students and harming them, that's the question mark. They could only be desecrating corpses. But again, Salvadori was trying to enchant them. So, we'll see. But again, it does sort of expand this kind of dark underbelly of the academy itself. This doesn't seem like an okay place, but that was never established at the very beginning. From the very beginning, they were claiming 20% of you will die. You will be enchanted by the spells and probably die in some way. So, I really do have to say that Salvadori and Rivermore almost open up this door to this being a very dark story. Like, this setting isn't all pretty. This is not your happy-go-lucky Magic Academy. Now, Oliver and the rest of them, up on the surface, it seems like a happy-go-lucky time. The power of friendship, don't die, let's all be friends. But there is a dark underbelly of the story that does have me quite intrigued. So we'll see where that stuff goes. For now, we'll put it over here and we'll stick a pin in it until the next time they decide to go in the labyrinth and go to the deeper portions of it and run into these two again. But the other cool thing is it's sort of opening the door to the possibilities of magic itself. Again, that was the whole concept here in coming to this academy, was this idea of experimenting and learning magic, but at the same time, not going too far that you end up being consumed by it. And I think, especially Salvadori, is a prime example of this. This is somebody that's wrote these theses of doing horribly disgusting things, at least according to Oliver. And that's where I think it is where she is experimenting with magic in ways that aren't normal, that could be dangerous, but she's doing it. This idea of literally using her womb to create and summon things. That's probably something that most people aren't going to try because, one, it's too dangerous, but two, it's probably not too healthy. Very weird. Very weird. Moving on, though. Moving on. But yeah, the other thing that kind of happens in this whole situation is that Nano arrives there, she frees them from this bone barrier, and decides to jump in. She says, this is the place where I can die. I'm good. You all leave. I'm good here. I'm just gonna go here to die. This is the battlefield where I can die, so I'm good. I'm perfectly fine with this. And that obviously upsets Oliver, based on what he's kind of seen before. He doesn't like the idea that it seems like Nanao wants to die. And that was my assumption that I had. Based on their duel, she's looking for a place to die. Now, it's not necessarily the reason that I thought it was. My thought process there with Nanao was that she was somebody that has taken many lives, and now she's seeking to die. Sort of feeling guilty for what she's done. But based on what Nanao is sort of talking about here is that she's not able to find this joyous battle that she's been looking for. She went on the battlefield, fought against an army of 50,000, ended up in the base camp of the enemy, found the general himself, the leader himself, requested to fight their greatest warrior, and this guy's like, you just killed him. You're looking for my son who's the greatest. You just knocked him out. And he was also a poet. You're a disgusting human being. Not that you would understand anything joyous in your life, like being poetry. No, you killed him. And as she was stunned by this, that's when McFlaren guy shows up and recruits her. But it seems like that point right there is the starting point of her wanting to die. And so it seems like ever since then, all the way up until the current moment, she's been wanting to die. And it seems like that whole duel with Oliver was that first point in which she found that joy. With her fighting style, their aim is to eventually get to that point where somebody they love and cherish fights them in a duel where they're on equal footing and they find that point of joy. I like that they actually use the word and not translate it because it sort of gives it a symbol. So it kind of shifted from her guilt to more of an idea that she could never find the joy in battle. That's what broke her at that point, was that she was so excited to fight this guy that was claimed to be the strongest warrior of their clan, and he was easy. That was what she was looking forward to, and it was so easy. She can't find that equal footing with somebody, and thus she's losing this purpose. So it is a nice little scene. It is a little bit too power friendshipy, but it's nice, this idea of... And I don't feel like it's fixed. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel like this is it for Nanao's story. Even in a later scene when they bring up the idea of Spellblades, she suddenly jolts at the idea of this thing that will kill no matter what. It almost like it excites her. That word, that kill, still jumped in her mind. I think it's still present in her mind. She's trying to find new purpose. Shella kind of tells her, look, we're going to find you new purpose. Let's stop this wanting to die thing. Obviously, it's upsetting all of us, not just Oliver. It's upsetting all of us. We want you here. And yes, Oliver's here too, and he's more than just his sword. He's here, sword or not. Cherish Oliver for more than just his sword. Sorry. But no, it was great. Shella, as always, is really fantastic. And it was like I said, it was a nice kind of cap into this story for now. But again, I don't think it's over. I don't think that Nanao is fine now. She is trying to find new things, and I think that's nice. So I did, okay, Oliver, Shella said to get closer to you, and so I'm doing that. So she's got to learn love, obviously, which just makes Katie jealous. But it's okay, because Katie finds somebody at the end of the episode. Katie lost Oliver, but that's okay, because now she has Vera. She has somebody that appreciates demi-humans as much as she does. Oh, no, I forgot to mention it, though. I did like the appearance of McFarlane, the guy that saved Nanao and recruited her. Just like Shella said, they all have the ringlets, and sure enough, he had ringlets, too. I got a kick out of that. But I will say that after the whole situation with Nanao, that last thing that she said where she promises that she won't throw her life away again, sure. Again, in the future, we'll have her find that moment and say, I can finally die. And they're going to say, no, stop it. Jokes aside, it is a tragic thing. Somebody looking for death. And it's not something that honestly can be healed just by a quick conversation. It is discovering new purpose, especially for a situation like Nanao, is really a case of somebody losing purpose, feeling that this is the only way to release it. People will lift you back up, but the muscles in your legs aren't quite built yet. This isn't going to be a fix-all. And I think they're indicating that that's not the end of this story, which is good. It's tragic, but it's good storytelling. But yeah, that's when we have the sword art class again, and somebody has brought up the title of the show. Do you have a Spellblade? Which is where we finally get the explanation of what a Spellblade is. Yes, for those who don't remember, the title is Reign of the Seven Spellblades. Big shock, we're going to discover the seventh Spellblade. Some point in this story, we will discover the seventh Spellblade. But for now, apparently there's 6. But yes, Garland goes through an explanation of what a Spellblade is. That apparently there is this art that is a secret art that nobody tells anybody about. Nobody tells how it works, because if you tell how it works, apparently there's others that are trying to make Spellblades that can counter those Spellblades. So it's good to keep it under wraps. But in knowledge, currently there is 6. And everybody is constantly trying to create new ones, but for now, there's only known 6 of them. And what these are is something that if used within the 1-step, 1-spell distance, it's death. Like, you will win the fight. There's no defenses or anything the other person can put up. It's a one-hit kill. It is the OP ability of this world, apparently. So yes, in question, if he can use it, Garland's like, I ain't telling you. Can't tell you. So yeah, I cannot wait till we find out that Oliver has the 7th or something. Because he ain't going to say if he has it. But this is where we start to kind of have a lot of jumping around, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time, it didn't ruin the episode overall, is this idea. First off, we have Richard Andrews wants to prove himself once again to Oliver. He wants to duel him. He's full of himself. And then we cut to Shella explaining why Andrews is like that. They grew up together, and apparently they've always been sort of compared. And so he always felt like he was going to lose his position to her. So that explains why he's such a jerk. So she's like, he's a jerk, but here's the reason why he's a jerk, so don't be too mean to him. But then we cut to, yes, apparently Katie is trying to stop them from killing the troll. So we're jumping over here now. But yes, the troll that nearly squished Katie, they're going to kill it, and Katie's there trying to stop, which we kind of established a few things in the scene. One is the fact that there's apparently, even though this guy is a teacher, he's using this pain spell on her to make her shut up, which apparently was banned 5 years ago. So he's using some sort of banned art to reprimand her. But additionally, yes, kind of confirming the fact that her and family name is very well known for being advocates for the rights of demi-humans, which according to Garland is a group that is actually rising up. This is a group that's no longer insignificant, and so yes, killing this troll without investigating first would just give them fuel. So I like the fact that it's not just Katie's family is the only people in the world that actually is advocating, that has lived side by side with the demi-humans. It's sort of established this idea that there is sort of a political party that is sort of trying to push for this equality for the demi-humans. And yes, Vera, who is his 4th year, is somebody that likes demi-humans too. So, like I said before, I'll ship Katie and Vera. It looks like we have a nice little Yuri couple over here. I'm sorry, Katie. Nano is going to be the cover character for the show. There's nobody that Oliver would end up with in this story except for Nano, even though I think that he works very well with Shella. I think Oliver and Shella are just, their chemistry of kind of helping the others constantly is really fantastic. But yeah, then once this is all over, then they get the challenge letter from Andrews. So everybody has shocked face, even though they technically already challenge each other. But apparently a letter challenge is more important. So big deal. So apparently we're going to have a fight with Andrews in the next episode. Not only Oliver, no, Oliver and Nanao. Apparently he wants to fight both of them. So I don't know if they're going to fight 2-on-1 or if he just wants to fight one of them 1 by 1. Either way, I don't know how Andrews is going to defeat either of the two of these because Oliver's the OP main character and Nanao is the OP heroine character. I don't know. The story could prove him wrong. Andrews ends up being really powerful. Like, he's not just the snot-nosed kid that wants to prove himself to everybody, then gets beat down and then learns his lesson. It seems like they're trying for a redemption arc for Andrews. It seems like, based on what Shella's saying, he seems like he's a character that can be redeemed. Like, all he needs is to have his face pushed in a little bit, and then he'll kind of correct his path. Like, you don't always have to be powerful than everybody else. You don't have to live in this inferiority complex. You don't have to always feel like you have to be above everybody in order to secure your position. So we'll see. But anyhow, cool episode. Looking forward to more. Hope you guys enjoyed my impressions of episode 3 of Reign of the Seven Spellblades. If you did, make sure that like button down below. Comment. Let me know what's thought of the episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button to get on my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you like this content, you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, membership button down below. I greatly appreciate it, but support the channel. It means so much to me, and y'all take care.